G'day one and all, this is Mike from Magic Solo Roleplay. I am starting a series, and this is the first one, well, a kind of breakdown of what I aim to do anyway, of my journey into art. As I stated a few weeks back, I am dropping all forms of AI art on my solo role-playing games going forward from now. Quite a few of you made suggestions regarding how I can go about doing this, and obviously one of them being using stockpile free art online, which in principle is not a bad idea. I mean, others do it, but with me, I think I need a bit more consistency in what I'm going to be showing, because for every single episode of Jerrod's Jaunt, I don't actually know what I need until the episode is done. And so for me then to go trawling through various websites trying to find specific pieces of art to go with it, it makes it awkward, or it would drag it out a lot longer. But having said that about dragging out, the fact that I'm actually going to be doing my own art pieces for it is still going to drag out. But what I think, or how I see it, is it's a bit like when I first started doing Jerrod's Jaunt. I spent years trying to get a solo game going, but I can never get past the reading of the rules, or you draw up a character and you might play one session, and that's it. You never return, even though you like what it is that you've just done. So I needed something to encourage me to continue playing, and so by doing the YouTube video of my role playing, it's enabled me to get through that early phase and to play that game, because what it meant was I was actually making a commitment to me to show something for you, even though fundamentally it's all for me. It's how I play, it's how I'm getting myself into playing the game. And similarly, the same could be said with art. I've loved art since I was a kid. But over the years, you do a little bit here, a little bit there, and you don't pick it up again for a while. You start working through all the fundamentals again and again and again, but you don't go anywhere near it, which is kind of annoying. Especially when I go to galleries and you just look and you go, if I can have like 10% of that person's talent, I'll be happy. But why should I settle with 10%? I'm getting to a stage in my life where I need to be happy in everything that I do. I won't go into personal issues with me, but we all have some problems, and mine have been brought to light in recent years. So by committing to doing this, like with Jerrod's Jaunt, by documenting my journey with art, I'm hoping it will have this similar sort of impact by getting me going, getting me looser, getting me learning, encouraging me to draw to a standard that I'm going to be happy with. So what you're going to see next are some, well, I say some, a load of crap. Actually, no, that's a bit unfair. There's some nice pieces, of where over the years I've picked up a pencil, I've started doing practice, and I was beginning to feel good, and then I just stopped. I think the last time I really did anything of significance in terms of practice was COVID years, or the COVID time, and that's primarily because I was on lockdown, and I was being paid to be at home, so I didn't have to worry or pressurize myself to think about where I'm going to get paid next. And to be honest, I actually enjoyed lockdown. I spent 6 to 8 weeks at home doing stuff, that ordinarily I would never have done, and I was enjoying it. Then you go back to work, and then it just, yeah, all just fizzled away. But anyway, as I say, once I stop blabbering on, you're going to see examples of doodles that I've done over the years through practice and some work, and then it will show you where I am and, quite frankly, what I need to do to move forward in order to produce what I want to be doing. So, I say this will be the first episode of my supplementary series for Jerrod's Jaunt, which is my journey into art. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope we both get to see the improvements I'm hoping will be made with it. But please, if you do comment, tell me about your struggles with art and how you've gone around it, how you found a best practice to improving that maybe I can take on board. Because I generally do want to know. I really want to learn. I love art, and it's there for everybody to appreciate. So hopefully you'll appreciate what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Right, to give you an idea of what you're going to be seeing in terms of my journey into drawing, I'm going to show you stuff that I've done over the years. Now, bear in mind, I have this problem where I pick up a pencil, pen, I'll do some sketches, I'll get my books out, for example. I've got a load of art books, but a lot of them are actually stored away at the moment, and I only have 2 books here with me in Southampton. And one is, anybody who's into drawing might know, Fundamentals of Drawing by Barrington Barber. He's very much a traditional kind of guy when it comes to drawing. Breaks it all down in very much a systematic approach, but it's very old school in style, which isn't so bad, which is fine. And then the other book I've got on hand is Drawing for Fantasy Artists. Now, if I can get anywhere near some of the work which this guy shows in here, then that'd be absolutely superb. As he says there, all the art techniques and shortcuts you need to master fantasy art. That will be very, very nice, but just mastering the basics will be handy as well. But anyway, so those are the 2 books I've got on reference. Plus, I've got loads of other stuff on my Kindle, etc. But anyway, like I say, this is where I've been over the years. Never been able to really continue doing something because my mind wanders. I go through a phase, might be a week, might be 2 weeks, where I just doodle, and then that's it. So something within me just stops me from drawing. Now, if I'm going to draw for Jerrod's Jaunt, I want to be able to highlight and show better stuff. So that's the main point in these videos. They're all going to be about my journey into drawing and to improve my drawing and my sketching abilities, so I can produce work that will improve over the time with my solo role playing as my artwork that I want to use, because I can't do I can't search for artwork online because it would just take me too long, and as far as I'm concerned, there has to be consistency in what I choose. So public domain art, as good as it is, it probably won't be what I want, and like I said, I'll have to find consistency. But anyway, it's the excuse, it's the reason why I am looking at doing this. So anyway, my crappy doodling. So these were done years ago. I have no idea, I can't remember what I was drawing these lines for. They've all got kind of like measurement points, and then there might be 5mm lines. But these are just basic exercises. Simple squares, something standing up, laying down, quick doodle of a face, don't know why. I do like eyes. Eyes are quite kind of cool. what have we got here? More heads. That's my drum stool. Those are a pair of bongos that belong to my other half. Like I said, I like drawing eyes. My heads, granted these were very scratchy, but you know, I was just testing things out. But again, I struggle. I've got a style with my heads that I really don't like. And me just working out values. I believe this is me trying to experiment with the Loomis method or something like that. And again, heads I don't really like, but you know, eyes are too narrow, should be slightly wider apart. Again, eyes too big giant spam, but at least the features of the face don't look too bad. Yeah, that's where I am on that one. Where am I? That's my watering can, as I say, for my indoor plants. My glasses, or my old glasses, not too bad. Then again, copying has never really been too much of an issue with me. It's more about drawing from memory. Next sketchbook, we have got, again, more doodling, my glasses. That's a terrible guitar. I don't know what the hell I was coming up with thinking with that. And these are all more about your basic exercises, you know, working on values, shading, trying to give a bit of three-dimensional imagery. More exercises and trying to draw cups. I don't know why. I don't know why I get stuck on drawing cups as well, but I do know handles are a pain in the ass when it comes to cups. And obviously, if you're trying to draw glasses with water in, that can be a bit awkward. I say my glasses, my Xbox from a distance, whatever the hell this stuff is. These are your exercises. So again, if you look in any instructional book, they'll give you exercises to help you build up confidence, which is like how to draw circles, straight lines, and in terms of triangles, you know, trying to keep the lines equal. Same with the squares, and then circle to ellipse pattern exercise, where you normally, I think I've got it on another page, where you'd be going up and down, just drawing circles and hopefully trying to turn those circles into ellipses. Circles. Obviously the traditional three-dimensional box. That's not too bad in terms of cup goes, but you know, at least, or a tube, at least you can see what it's meant to be. Me playing around with perspective, because I like perspective, different forms of perspective. Same here, same here, same here. Kind of like a 3D perspective of things exploding out into you. Doodles, cups from a view from the top. Yeah, more perspective shots and breaking things down. And a candle and candlestick. I think that might have actually been. No, I don't think I know so, because I don't own a candlestick. But that was actually something from my imagination. I mean, yeah, half and half, kind of there, but you know, it highlights my inefficiencies. What else we got? More sketches, more cups. That's the circle to ellipse method, drawing your lines down, and me, let's say, trying to work out cup handles. Boxes or cuboids of sorts. That is me. I found a picture of a bat, so I decided to draw a bat or copy the bat. Anyway, there you go. Values in three-dimensional objects. Gotta love a skull. I like skulls. It's pretty, as you see in my my role-playing game, I am drawn to Grimdark, so anything in this sphere I enjoy. Again, shitload of exercises, straight lines, dots, circles, triangles, squares, stars, and spirals. So these, again, in the Barrington Bar book, these are all kind of mainstays of what he teaches, and I think he pretty much puts it in every single instructional book that he's ever written, but I have seen this in other stuff as well. And I like pen and ink as well, so these were just things I was seeing. So computer mouse, another cup, and I think that might have been an old iPhone case, banana, light bulb, God knows what that is, don't know what that is, probably might be something I was doing from imagination. Again, haven't got scoops on that one. What else we got on this? Oh yeah, portrait, well, half a portrait anyway, which I believe was of Sheila E. I mean, if I finished it, it would have looked like her, but I didn't finish it. That's what I got. Again, like I said, me and my ability to see things through, to improve, kind of like stops after that initial buzz is gone. But anyway, that would have been Sheila E. Trees are good form to play around with. If I remember rightly, this is from a good God, what was it? It was I think it might be an instructional that I saw on YouTube on how to draw trees. It works. It's a very simple process. But yeah, trees. And in this repad, what have I got going on here? I was playing around with something, I can't remember what this was to do with, but I think it was almost like the fisheye effect. I think that's might be what I was playing around with, but you know, as you can see, there's no consistency to what I'm doing. More doodles. Yeah, so these were my old flat in southwest London. Would have been chairs in the flat there, doodles, me playing around. I think it's almost stemmed from when I was looking at waves and wave designs and how to draw waves. Free sketch of, again, same chair. There we go, might help you if I move it. Doorway into my old kitchen. What else we got? This was from a download sheet of cartoon faces. It has kind of a semi Hanna-Barbera look to it. I don't know why, because I don't mind that if you're watching cartoons, but it's not exactly a style that I want to aspire to as an artist or as a potential artist anyway. But anyway, it kind of like gives you a breakdown. You can imagine the Jetsons with those ones. My old remote control, that was a bit to draw because it's lots of fiddly parts, and because it's curved, it's not a straight square object or rectangular object. But you see what's what. This is more stuff from my old flat. Apart from that, that's obviously me playing around drawing kind of like foreshortening of trees. Door to my old living room, that was a thing that we had on that wall. I used to use my bass drum as a coffee table, so normally that's my bass drum within its case, and I'll have something solid over the top, but in this case I think that might have been a large one of these, cut and mate. Yeah, drawing die, trying to draw a die anyway. Can't remember, was there an 8-sided die? Yeah, a bit too flat there, but there we go. Don't know. It looks more like a sock puppet. than anything else. Again, my old living room. It's it's okay, I suppose. I mean, these are meant to be done as sketches. There are never nothing as serious, but it's me trying to draw complicated shapes. Kitchen, doorway, old TV, Xbox, TiVo box maybe, some random picture. What else? Tissue box, glasses case, bit of scenic view, no idea. Again, can't do faces, can't do heads at the moment. Well, free draw heads anyway. Can do copies, you can't really see that. More exercises with cups, bloody cups. Blank bit of paper. More cups. Oh yeah, there you go. Why don't I draw some toothpaste as well. Rolled up toothpaste tube. Get the gist. Yeah, old little speaker. That, according to that, is a book. Another book. Yeah, you can see the other book. That was a good little speaker, that was. A little wider speaker. Pair it up to your phone. Job done. More crappy exercise. Well, I say crappy. I mean, there is a purpose to them. But drawing circles, lines, so on and so forth. That was, what was that? Oh, I think that's a section of blinds in my old living room. That's me stretched out on the sofa, so I'm drawing my feeties and my legs. Never quite got around to finishing it, but there is more about, you know, drawing folds, getting the imagery right. So I mean, you know their feet, you know their socks. Hopefully you know their socks anyway. So this is more of an example of practice. Still life. Yeah, me drawing my hands in different poses. To be honest, I mean, hands are notoriously hard to do, but you know, for a novice, you'd take that, wouldn't you? I definitely would. Mould. Base drum case again, same chair. My other half's comfy chair. That was a bitch to draw as well. And my room bag. I like that. I mean, that's not too bad. You know, that's a little mini pouch of sorts. And that's what I keep my runes in. And that was a sketch I did trying to work out perspective from a photograph of my sitting position at the Stoop, home of Harlequins rugby club. Ooh, there's more crap. Let's keep on going with the crap. We come this far. More random shite. Random shite, actually that's the building opposite my old flat. So the windows are kind of set in on the top floor of the building, so it's kind of that view, and they had this, the roof just arched out, or the eaves did anyway, you know what I mean. My artist mannequin hands, random other bits and pieces, just doodle. Same building from across the road, the one ring, or it's a ring, but could be any old ring. I have no idea what that one's all about. I think again it's more me practicing circular shadow, shaping and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit like tops of cups, you know, they're a bit awkward to do. My other ass bongos again, yeah, a bit long. Should be shorter than that, but at least you kind of get the gist of what they're meant to be about. Sketch, 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 more bongos, lots of bongos. Focusing on the clipping method for the skins. Pen and ink in the trees. Bizarre looking egg box. Deck of cards, but yeah, I do like old gnarly trees. So these were, I think these are freeform sketches. So apparently I'm not too bad at doing trees. Maybe I just turn my lead character into trees. I actually like this one. There's probably a viewpoint we can all associate walking through the woods, looking up. But I just wanted it to disappear into the top. But that was another, obviously, pen and ink sketch. That was actually not too bad. I like that. And a vista of some sorts. And last book. So as you can see here, 17th of November 2017. So I remember reading somewhere if you can kind of draw in blue pencil as as your base, then you go over the top of it. As I know, it's definitely an animated trick as well. Blue pencil, more eyes. More eyes. Not quite there on that one, bottom one, but yeah, not too bad. Profile of the face. Because I think that might be the first time I really looked at the profile of the face. And then when you realise how far your eye is actually set in from your brow to the bridge of your nose. Obviously, it makes sense. We see this every day, but I don't think we ever really pay too much attention to it. Well, maybe most people do. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I think I wasn't necessarily going for main detail on these ones, but it's all again it's about another method of drawing the face. Yeah, don't know. More perspective, practice at the top. Baby demon. My artist mannequin. Yeah, again out of proportion. So that's the thing, I can see this stuff. When I look at something I can see where the proportions lie, but you know, when you're trying to convey it on paper, it's bloody awkward. Actually, that one's not too bad. What have we got here? More faces, cartoony type. But yeah, I don't like my style. I really don't. Lippys and teethies. Noses. Yeah, I can't remember where I got this from. This might have been a Loomis thing as well. Drawing noses, different angles, different shapes. Is answers on the postcard, please. My hand, or a hand, that probably will be my hand. I'm not going to ask somebody to sit there, or either that. I may have done it, you know, put flesh over the mannequin hand. But I would imagine that that's actually me probably copying my own hand. yeah, and that is it. So, as stated beforehand, I've got some work to do in order to become the artist that I want to be, in order to produce some decent work for my channel. Yeah,